up, you scraps!
Hey guys, first off, welcome to my channel and to my new video. I hope you like the reveal of my, I can't say the name, but you'll read it in the title probably. In a second we're going in a time machine back to the past and start painting it up. But for now I want to thank you all for watching and let me know what you think. Do you like it? If you don't like it, also let me know. And I have made an Instagram account. I'll link it in the description, and I'd love to see what you guys paint, so don't be shy and just send it over. I'd love to watch it. Anyways, I'm going to go into my time machine now, go back to the past and start painting this bad boy up. Thanks for watching. Okay, so he's assembled and I primed him in Ravebone. Let's start. So once again I'm going to start with Got a Ripper Flesh to paint up the gobos and the orc skin. Okay, I'm now going to do the darker drapes of the gobos with Rhinox hide. Okay, so I just started, but I already found out this is going to be the hardest miniature I've painted so far. A lot of tight spaces behind things. I think I should have sub-assembled this, but yeah, I already glued it on, so I have to work with what I have now. So, and I forgot to put the Rhinox hide on the like the arrow carrier, so I'm also going to do these parts. Okay, so I already found out that I really have to paint and pray to get this model to a good outcome. I think I'm going to do the bow now. Let's see which colors I'll use. So what I need to do first is pick off these deep parts like the wheel back here. And I am going to use wildwood contrast paint for the wood back here. And then lead belcher for the trim on the wheels, I guess, and the middle part. Okay. Just going to do this rim of the wheel with some lead belcher, and the other side I'll do later on. Now going to do the main parts of the crossbow, and I'm going to mix wildwood with some rattling grime. I'm not sure how much yet, but I want it a little bit darker, I guess, so it becomes a different color than these pillars. going to do the same thing I did with the armor of my brutes. Going to mix some lead belcher with some Abaddon black and then paint up this cross, the iron parts of it. And I'm going to probably do this part as well. And I'll see what I touch, but at least I want to do the cross because it will be hard to do after and I don't want to touch the wood, so. Okay, so I also did the lead belcher on the wood here. And I'm now going to block in all the parts on the crossbow that are supposed to be metal. So I'm going to use lead belcher, of course, for all the metal parts on the crossbow, and also for the axe thingy. With the lead belcher on, I'm now going to use Baylor Brown for all the ropes here on the spool and these ropes. And after that I'm going to use Agrox Earthshade over the ropes. Okay, so one of my lights just died, but I'll just continue like this. The ropes are painted with the Baylor Brown. I'm now going to use Steel Legion Drap on all these parts of the goblins. I'm not sure what to call it, the shirts, I think. I'm going to leave him like this for now. Okay. Also going to do the Steel Legion Drap on these parts. Now going to use the Agrox Earthshade on all the ropes. Okay, so now I'm going to use Snakebite Leather contrast paint over all the Steel Legion Drap I did. So on the bolt holder and on the gobos. I'm now going to use Dark Oak Flash over the darker parts of the card. I'm now just going to look over the entire model and just paint everything that needs to be metallic. So like lead belcher and like the tips of the spear. I'm going to use some tinny tin from Vallejo. Also these points and this rim, chains, just about everything. Now going to use Mornfang Brown to block in armor panels like the belt of the gobbo and these armor panels. Yep. Now going to use Flash Terror's Red on his crest belt thing.
And the fire drops the coal of my heart. Fire
Now applying some Gore Grunta fur on the handle and this little axe handle. Okay, I forgot to hit record, but I'm also going to use the Gore Grunta fur on the arrow shafts, I think. Okay. Now also going to apply the Gore Grunta fur on all the panels I did with Morn Fang Brown. Let's go. Okay, so after basically blocking everything in now, I'm going to clean up a lot of the miniature because I hit a lot with those tight spaces. Going to start with skin, and I'm just going to clean everything related to the skin that I hit before. Okay, now going to use the Rhinox hide to layer back all the dark brown parts, and I'll probably hit some skin again, so yeah, it will be yeah, a lot of neating up, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to try something new. I'm going to use Agaros Dunes over the dark caps of the gobos and see if that looks nice, and if it does look nice, I'm going to use it over the ropes of the Orc. Now going to use Seraphim Sepia on all the tips of the spears. Now going to use Agrox Earthshade over, yeah, I'm not sure yet, I'm just going to identify pieces like ropes and maybe a bit on the dark brown here. Just moving around the miniature and just applying where needed. Okay, so my new light just arrived, and I'm glad it did, because I did start to feel like a bat trying to film my minis. I got light from everywhere and it goes nice and bright. So can't wait to try out with painting, so going to do that. Okay, so the light is nice. I can put it so bright. Doesn't really catch on video how bright this is, but if I look into one of those bulbs I'm getting blinded, so it's nice. Anyway, back to the painting. I'm going to be painting everything that needs to be lead belcher. So things like here that holds the hammer, and there's one here, just a couple of things on the armor. Then doing one more round of fixing everything up. Like I hit a little bit of lead belcher here, and I'm going to be using some copper-like color. I'll show which one I'll use later. On all these spiky things on the armor. And then going to detail it. Okay, so now I'm going to use brass scorpion on these pointy things on the armor. Let's see. Okay, so I'm also going to use the brass scorpion just on the tips of all these points on the front of the bow. Maybe I will do the whole tip, but for now just points. Okay, so with the points painted, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to take Flash Terror's red contrast paint. I'm going to water it down a lot. And I'm going to try and let it flow in these carvings on his armor. I hope it works out. Never done this before, so will be interesting. Okay, so I'm glad with how this turned out. It looks nice. Now I'm going to use Seraphim Sepia to shade all the bronze parts. Okay, with that done, I'm going to use Dark Oak Flesh contrast paint on the faces of the gobos and between the fingers, just for some definition in the ears and that kind of stuff. Let's go! Okay, so I put the Dark Oak Flesh over the entire gobo skin accidentally on the Orc foot, but that's okay. Because I really like the way it changes the green. It makes it look dirty and just gives the goblins some different color tone to the orcs. So I like it. I did thin it down with water. I do have Lamian medium or contrast medium. I bought it, but I forgot to use it. But it worked out fine with water. So now I'm going to use some Goleman Flesh contrast paint on the Orc flesh. Okay, so the gobos need eyes, so it's time for the Flesh Terror Red contrast paint into the gobos' eyes. Okay, so painting eyes is still a challenge for me, but at least I got 1 out of 3 nicely. And I did the eyes before I layered back the skin or highlighting, so I can still clean it up with that step. So yeah, this one is the best. His eyes are on his cheek. And with that said, I'm going to start highlighting the skin. And for the highlighting of the gobbo skins, I'm going to use Elysian Green. Okay, now I'm going to layer some of the orc skin back on, just using orc flesh. Okay, now I'm going to do the nails and the teeth with Morghast bone. Now going to apply Guilliman flesh on all those teeth and nails. So this goblin has one of his eyes closed, and I'm going to use some Agrox Earthshade in that eye socket so it darkens a bit. Okay, so with that done, I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. So what I'm going to do next is mix some Rhinox hide with some Gorthor brown, and I'm going to layer that a bit on the dark brown clothing so it lights up a bit like a highlight. Now I'm going to use the Gorthor brown just for the sharpest edges and the highest edges of this color. Now I'm going to use Mournfang Brown to highlight these panels, and I think somewhere on the gobos, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, I'm now going to highlight all the lead belcher with Iron Breaker. What I'm going to do next is use lead belcher to highlight the crown of the bow because it's darker. I'm now going to use the Baylor Brown to layer back on the ropes for a bit of a highlight. Okay, I'm now going to highlight the shield on his belly with some Mephiston red. And now for the strongest detail on the shield, I'm going to use hot orange. Okay, and for the finishing touches, I'm going to do the base plate, but I'm not going to finish it entirely because I want to do it when the entire army is finished, so it can be one team. But I'm going to do the rocks and just smear some sterling mud on it and perhaps some camo shade, but I'll see. I'll do the rocks and stuff. So the first layer on the rocks is going to be ashen gray. Then I'm going to use some administratum gray over it just for some highlighting. Use sterling mud on the floor, and then I think Agrox Earth Shade or Athonian Camo Shade. I'll see which I use. I didn't notice this before, but there's also like a platform here that's attached to the rock. So I'm going to do some lead belcher and Agrox Earth Shade over that. And also there's a chain here. I'm also going to do that with lead belcher and Agrox Earth Shade. Now going to use the earth shade over the rocks, and after that I'm going to dry brush with administratum gray. Okay, I'm now going to dry brush some administratum gray over the rocks on the base. Okay, so the rocks turned out nice enough for me. And I actually like the dry brushing. I usually don't even use it. It's like the second time I do it now, but it looks really nice. I have to use it more often. Anyways, I'm going to use Sterling mud all over the plateau base thing that's on the actual base. Okay, and I'm just going to use an old brush, I guess, for this. If you have any tips for me how to apply this properly under things, please give it to me, but for now I'm going to try and dip a big blob somewhere and use the back to scoop it in. Just a note, it's crazy how much like real mud this feels to use. And it's harder to apply than I imagined, but yeah, it looks cool. Looks really nice. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the mud to completely dry, I'm going to use some Gore Grunta fur as a sort of highlight for the bow. So I'm going to apply it on the higher parts, just to lighten it up a bit. Now I'm going to use XV88 to paint up the ropes at the base, and after this is dry I'm going to use lead belcher for the chain on the ground. Just a little bit because it's in the mud, so it's probably muddy. Athonian camo shade over the mud on the base. Okay guys, so this is what we ended up with. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm not too concerned about the base because I'm going to probably change it anyway when I'm going to base the entire army. What I did find out is I have to watch what I have to assemble and what I have to paint before I glue it on, because I made this one so much harder on myself than it should have been. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please let me know. See you in the next one.